No, man, but you got to keep going. What am I going to do, quit? That's not an option. You got to keep on keeping on. Life's a garden, dig it? You make it work for you. You never give up, man. That's my philosophy.
Sure have been getting some rain lately, and our bean wall is looking really nice, putting off some flowers. We should be harvesting tons of beans real soon, but look down here, we got just a ton of cucumbers. I need to get in here and pull these things out. All right, let's get growing. All right, welcome gardeners. It's Saturday and we're back on the air here on the Let's Get Growing show here on the Urban Gardener channel. My name's Enoch and I'm your host for today. We've got a all right, cool kind of show. We're just going to kind of do some reviews, some catch up. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on the air here on the show. I just got back from a really cool trip, which we'll just talk about a little bit here in just a bit too. And again, too, really great to have all of you along with us here, joining with us live. And if you're here with us live, be sure give us a big thumbs up, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, bell notification to be notified of upcoming episodes, as well as share our show with all of your friends. Let them know about the Let's Get Growing show and all of our great guests that we have on the show to talk all about gardening and just really have fun and all enjoy the passion of growing things. And you can find us at letsgetgrowing.live. That's our website as well to get more information on the show. And if you are here live with us, get into the comment section there, the chat box. Let us know you're here. I'd love to hear from all of you. And, if you have any questions or anything as well, too, we'll also feature those on the show as well as comments or anything. So please let us know you're here and let us know what you've got growing on. And also, here at the top of the show, I want to give a big, huge shout out to all of you who are watching us on the replay. I know not everybody can join with us live here on Saturday morning, so we get a lot of viewers who watch us on the replay, and it's great to have you all along with us as well, too. Get down in the comment section. Let us know you're here. Let us know what you think of the show. And love to hear from all of you as well, too. And also, our show is sponsored by Ivy Organics, and a great way to support our show is to support Ivy Organics. And they've got a great all-purpose organic fertilizer. It's really great. We've been using it all year here in our gardens, and I think that's probably why they're surviving and doing as well as they're doing, probably because I haven't been doing much help either. But so definitely check out their organic dry fertilizer as well as their 3-in-1 plant guard at ivyorganics.com. Use our promo code GROW10 to get 10% off as well too. Excellent, awesome. So really great to be back here live on Saturday mornings with all of you. Again, like I said, I've been out on a trip, and it's been it's been a real fun kind of little vacation for me. We've had a really great year. We've had an awesome year. Like I just kind of was giving myself a hard time about the garden, talking about the fertilizer and everything, but the garden's all in all pretty good. I haven't necessarily put as much focus on it and some of the other things that I normally do through the year, but I feel that we've done really well anyways. And and we've also had some really good success here and awesome shows here on the Let's Get Growing show for our first year. So it was really kind of a great way to kind of just celebrate, take a little vacation, and kind of kind of take in the fact that we've had all of these really kind of great successes anyways. So yeah. All right, all right. So good to see all of you here with me. Yeah, we've got Jay with us as always, helping us out there moderating and leaving us some great links and all of that too as well. And Robin, awesome to see you here joining with us. Thanks for jumping into the chat box. And again, get in there. Let us know you're here. Let us know what you got growing on if you are here with us. And yeah, also too as well. Got my Mariners gear on. It is actually, I wore this the very first week of the baseball season. And I just say, and I talked about it then too, is that if there's anything I like as much, if not more, than gardening, I hate to think that there might be anything at all, but I've been a lifelong baseball fan. The Mariners organization was started back, I think, the year that I was born. So I grew up. I've grown up with this team and baseball in general being one of my favorite things and my favorite team. And we've got a really good team. I don't know, since the beginning of this year when I last wore this and talked about baseball and all of that. It's been a great year. It's been kind of ups and downs and all of that, just like any other sort of season, especially like our gardening season too. I always like to create that analogy between baseball and gardening and the whole season type thing. And yeah, so it's been kind of an up and down year, but here we are the last 2 days and we're playing for a spot in the playoffs. So I thought I'd put on my jersey and support my team here for the last couple of days of the season, the last weekend. I mean, it's really a tough spot to be in. We're in a division that's so tight that any one of us could be eliminated on the last day. So it's really kind of like, really got our fingers crossed and, just really, hoping that everything goes well too. So the game's a little bit later on today. I will be enjoying that then. But yeah, anyways, again too, really great to be back in the garden. While I was gone on my trip, the weather here just seemed to got really extreme. I went to Los Angeles thinking I'm going to get some really great weather. It's going to be nice and warm and hot. And mind you, there were some cool days. We had some great days that were there, but mostly in general, it was really kind of overcast. There was even some kind of light sprinkling of like made you feel like maybe it was going to rain or something at any point in time down there. And then the opposite was true here. It was like nearly 100 degrees for a few days of my trip. So luckily I had my daughter here coming by to help water things and make sure everything was watered. So not too many problems in the garden when I returned. But since then, we've been getting a bunch of rain, as you saw in the opening clip there too. It's been raining the last couple of days, really good, really nice. The ground's getting kind of soaking up all of that rain after having a really dry summer. So the plants are loving it. Everything's looking really green. And as you saw too, I got a ton of cucumbers out there. I got to go harvest up, as well as some beans and different things as well too. I've got a couple of I think squash left out there, and some tomatoes. Tomatoes are still ripening up all over in different plants and all of that too. So we got lots of stuff still growing in the garden and all of that right now. So lots to come back to and to take care of after this trip. Let's see here. Robin says my pumpkins were started from seed. I've harvested a couple about 3 weeks ago, and another had just started. Not sure if it'll make it in time. Yeah, it's probably, but that's the thing about some of those late blooming seeds and plants. Sometimes they're just, they come up and don't have enough time to really produce anything. Although I did kind of think about that when it came to, I'm growing some loofah out there. I'm trying again this year to grow loofah gourds, you know. And for some reason they just have the hardest time getting going. So they got started late, hardest time getting going, and so by the time that they're flowering and starting to produce the fruits, it's really late in the season. I just don't know if they're actually going to really be able to grow fully and develop fully. We'll have to see. I actually have to go back and check on them. In fact, I haven't seen them since I got back and all of that. So we'll see here. Yeah. And let's welcome LP here in the chat. Thank you for joining with us this weekend. We are just having a regular hangout and chat kind of show, just kind of doing a little bit of catch up and talking about the trip I just got done with. I had a lot of things going on, and there's going to be, plenty of things here coming up on the Urban Gardener channel. I've got a few different feature videos. We'll talk a little bit more about those that I got to go film while I was down in Los Angeles, as well as, you've been hearing me talk about it all year long, is the National Heirloom Exposition. And that was such a great time. It was such a great show. And so that was a big part of what we did on our trip to Los Angeles as well. So lots of really cool stuff, lots of content as far as that goes for the Urban Gardener channel coming up. But I also, too, and I'll tell you this is what we're going to kind of do here towards as we get here going a little bit later in the show, is I also filmed a vlog for a channel. I had a second channel, an Enoch Vlogs channel that I started up and set up a couple of years back. And I did it kind of around a couple of things that I was kind of getting involved with this other company and some things that we were going to do. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to kind of like, vlog and kind of show the behind the scenes of all of that sort of stuff. But a lot of that did not come to fruition or happen the way I wanted or was thinking they would. So that kind of, I made a few videos, I did some things with it and had some fun with it and all of that for that year. But that's pretty much all I've done with it. But the last thing I did was a couple of years ago, I went on a trip to Los Angeles as well, and I filmed this vlog. It was really cool. Before I went on this trip, I actually went back to that channel. I hadn't been on it for a couple of years, since I did that last vlog on there. And so I looked at that video and it just reminded me of a lot of the memories and the things that I had and all of that during that last trip and some of the things that we were going to get to do this time around. So I thought, oh, you know what, let's break out the camera every now and then while we're along on the trip and put together a vlog for it. And I ended up coming away with a bunch of footage. I went some hikes that we did, a day at the beach, some highlights of the heirloom exposition, few different clips and highlights of some different things I did with some of those features that I was talking about. And so, yeah, so I put together this vlog. And so what I'm going to do here today is I am releasing all of it's actually 4 parts. I mean, literally the last one I did was 2 parts. It wasn't really that big of a, there was some clips and highlights of different things I did and all of that. But I ended up collected so much footage of this. It ended up being 4 parts. And I really ultimately thought when I first got started that I'll end up with maybe about the same thing, this 2-part thing. And but in the long run, I'm working on part 3. And as I'm editing that one, I'm like, oh my gosh, look, there's still so much footage left. I might end up having 4 parts, is what I did. I ended up with 4 parts. So I'm going to release all 4 of those. In fact, part 1's actually already released on that channel. I do have a link down in the description too for that channel. You can follow that link to that channel if you want to, and subscribe, if you want to. I'm thinking I might do some more, kind of like behind the scene type stuff, talk about other things other than gardening. That's the one thing that I really thought that channel would be good for, is just kind of have an outlet to talk about things that were just, a little bit more than the gardening stuff that I talk about here on this channel and all of that. So we try to keep it as much gardening as we can. We'll throw in a little bit of baseball. We'll throw in a little bit of our vlogs and stuff here and there. But you know what? For the most part, we're a gardening channel and a gardening show. So, but for today, again, like I said, we're just doing a little catch up. We're going to do a little hangout. We got Joe with us here now too. I saw Joe there. Joe is there. And it looks like we've got my friend Lauren's in the house. Nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining with me here, and everybody else here for our show. Not necessarily a show, I guess. It's like I said, we're just hanging out. And looks like we've got Christopher from Norway with us. Christopher, good to see you, man. Yeah, so again, we're just all kind of hanging out. We could talk a little bit of gardening, talk a little bit about whatever. And like I said, I got this vlog that, again, I just didn't really mention what I was actually doing, but I'm gonna show part one. It's just a nice little first part of it. So we'll do that here in just a little bit as well too. And then after that, I'll talk about some of the other ones if you want to kind of watch some of them, because I'll show part one. And then after this show is over, it'll be right at 1:30. Part two is going to show on the channel. And then after that one's done, a few minutes later, part 3 will show, and then part 4 will show, and each one of those are premieres on that channel, so I'll be able to hang out with everybody as well too. So while we're watching here on this show and those other parts, I'll be in the chat box with everybody, and we can hang out and talk about things. You can ask me questions and and all that sort of stuff as well too. So that's something we'll do here just in a little bit as well. But yeah, first off, again too, we were in Los Angeles to go check out the National Heirloom Exposition. And so let's check out a few different highlights that I put together, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it afterwards. Everyone, here we are out at Ventura County Fairgrounds here, and this is where the new National Heirloom Exposition is going to be.
How we doing today?
Doing good. How are you doing?
All right.
So all right, here we are right here, right in the gate, and you can see they've got the big squash tower here.
Here's this. Quick plug for the podcast. We just launched this. If you like plants in any way, I know you do, because you're here, you would totally dig this podcast that we do.
did was we packaged up our Praxis cherry tomato seeds here on the carts, and we're just giving these out. Walled pepper, and they're just really, really delicious. Really glad to see that they made sure they brought this back for sure. Chicken. So let's go over and check out the poultry exhibit here. This guy here. That's nice here. Their goods, and the tables start to empty, but that's the sign of the end of the heirloom exposition. And all the proceeds to all of the sales of all of the fruits here in the exhibition hall all go to school gardens and garden charities. So it's a great company to support, just for all of the good that they do. And come support the Heirloom Expo, and come join us next year for the 2024 show, so you can grab some of your own varieties. You can save all the seeds for these and plant them in your gardens next year. We'll see you then. So all right, that's pretty much going to do it for us here today on our video. So all right. Nice little highlight video there of all the great things going on there at the National Heirloom Exposition this year. It was really great, but it was, again, it's the 10th one for sure. A great milestone for Baker Creek to have been able to finally get to put this one on and all of that. You could tell though that it was a kind of a comeback. It was kind of like getting a feel for what was to be expected in that area, because not only were they coming back from, I mean, three years, I think it's 3 years that they didn't have the show, maybe 4 if I do the numbers right. But anyways, it'd been several years since they had done the last show, and it was in a completely different area. So now they're down in the Ventura County Fairgrounds, and you could tell that that they put on a show that they were normally used to doing from before. But really, in those first couple of days, they really got overwhelmed. There were a lot of people. I mean, Baker Creek's they had their vendor stand, which was just these rows and rows of all of their seeds. I mean, they had thousands of seed packets out of all these different varieties of things. It was kind of like going to the record store, and they had it all set up kind of like that, where you could flip through all of these different seed packets and all of these different things. And with all their great photography, it looked really awesome when first walked in that first day and you saw it. But they had lines literally wrapping around the place of people buying that stuff. And they sold out of everything pretty much the first day. Most vendors there weren't expecting it to actually be that busy of a show. So by the second and third day, most things are really kind of like gone. So that was something that I talked to Jer about too. We talked a little bit on the last day about, was that they really got to push it and double it. Like, everything's got to be double in size, maybe even triple in size of what they did this year, next year, because it was a real success. It was a major success for them ultimately. But again, you could see that and feel that difference, especially having been at several of these shows before up in Santa Rosa and all of that too. So I'm only looking at even better and awesome things to come for the Heirloom Exposition in the next coming years as well too. So if you get a chance, you got to go check that out, because they got just so many really cool things that they do there. And hopefully a couple of these things again too will only expand and get bigger. I mentioned in that highlight video that all of the proceeds from the National Heirloom Exposition, not just those sales of all of those different things that they have there in that exhibition hall, it's the total money and take in that they have from the whole event is all donated to local school gardening programs. And that is something that they've continued. That's something that they did for all the years before up in Santa Rosa. And that was one of the things that was really kind of fun about the event up in Northern California, where they got to really work a little more and expand a little bit more, and really get that feature back, in full swing this next year. Is bringing and getting in a lot more of the local schools and getting them there for, because it's really one of the reasons why they have it in the middle of the week. There's a lot of talk about people wanting it, it on one of the weekends. And really one of the reasons why they have it in the middle of the week is so that schools can take advantage of their exposition and bring kids there for field trips and all of that, because they set up the whole thing for kids. They got the thing where you run around and all of that, and the tower, all that sort of stuff is really set up for kids, and to bring that excitement about farming and gardening and growing food and showing all those differences of all that sort of stuff. They've got that whole kids hall, exhibition hall of their own, where they have all set up, and in years past have been all of these really cool displays by all these different schools. So, I hope that that's something that they really work hard on and expand. Something I suggested to them too, because they're in that Southern California area. And it's one of my favorite things about Southern California is they garden year round. So gardening is really, really a popular thing down in Southern California. I mean, it is huge. There's so many organizations, so many different people doing different things in the gardening world down there. I mean, my show could just live right in Los Angeles and have content all year round, year after year after year down there, because of how much there is really. And one of the bigger things too that's there is all the community gardens. I mean, I think there's like a couple hundred different community gardens just right in the greater Los Angeles area. And that's something they should really highlight and really work on as well too, and set up those so that they can get some of these community gardens in there to kind of highlight and show what they're doing in their community gardening spaces. So those sort of things. But like I said, all in all, I mean, the place just was packed full of people. And each of the speakers had great room full of people to listen to all of their talks. They had a lot of great, really awesome speakers, and I can really say that, for sure too, because we've had on this show 6 of the speakers that were at that event too. Wendy Fan, John Kohler, Bevan Cohen, also Christy Wilhelmy was there, and of course, well, I guess that was 5 of the speakers, and then Jared Gettle was on the show as well too, who is the founder of Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company. So so really in the long run, we're really highly connected with all of the facets of that show and the people and all of that too. So it was really great to get to see them and get to see all these great speakers, because that's and again, something I think that because of the success of this year, because of what they saw and what happened this year, I think that again is another area where they're probably just going to really expand and really do a bit more. So probably even better, bigger, greater speakers next year. And again, tons of really cool vendors. Like I said, that vendor hall was full of lots of places, and I talked to a lot of these people throughout the hall, who were there selling and putting out a lot of different stuff, and yeah, they said that they had great sales, for what they were, what they were expecting. So again, I'm sure that because of that success, that's going to attract even more people this next year. So again, I just expect next year to be even bigger. The exhibition hall was just as cool as it ever was. I will be putting out a video. I hope the video is okay. I mean, there are some, I don't know, I think I'm going to go back to just shooting from my phone most of the time, but I was having a problem getting the correction, the auto correction working right as far as going in and out of places with my other camera. So hopefully everything's going to look right, and we'll have kind of a little table tour where we'll look around at all those different varieties of things that you saw there in that exhibition hall. So we'll go around, we'll show and talk about all of that. So I'll be putting that video out here a little bit later this week, as well as my overall heirloom exhibition video as well will be coming out this week as well too, to show and highlight all of that though. But and again too, I have to say though, is when it came down to it, I was really just having so much fun visiting people, seeing people, a lot of people there I know and have seen in previous expositions and all of that. So again, you get to talking and hanging out, and not pulling out the camera as much and as often as I should to gain the footage that I should have to really had a great video of this. But all in all, the experience was awesome, and hopefully that'll relay in the video that we'll have coming out a little bit later this week. But again, that wasn't the only thing that I was up to when I was down in Los Angeles as well either. We were doing some feature videos as well too. So again, if I'm taking a trip somewhere, I want to be able to also take advantage of that time I'm in an area, whether it's the Bay Area, Portland, Seattle. I want to also kind of get out and do some other videos and some things like that too. And this year we kind of had quick trips. Seattle, we had a quick trip, so we only really did kind of like the festival itself, and then we also did the Amazon Spheres. And then this trip to Los Angeles, we've done the exhibition or the exposition, and also did a feature with Jemiah Hargens, who's been on the show with us. He showed us around his Degnan farm there on our live show. We got a chance to get right up close, right in the space ourselves. And I got a bunch of video and photographs and all sorts of stuff, plus a really cool interview and discussion with Jemiah. And so that's going to be a really great video, again, to look forward to. That should be coming up here really soon. I mean, that was a really great visit. Really love Jemiah's energy and passion for what he's doing and his message overall too. And one of the things we talk about was what kind of one of the things that we didn't get into in the interview and talking to him about the situation with Crop Swap Los Angeles and all of that we kind of got to talking about this time. But this has become, this passion project, this small idea that he started in his community, working with other people. It got some word of mouth, got it around town, got some news and press coverage. And then next thing you know, he's got all these volunteers. The project's getting bigger. People are donating money, and we're talking about lots of money. And so the organization's growing and getting bigger and all of that, but now it has to become sustainable. And that's one of the big things that Jemiah is hard at work right now, is to make sure that that can be, because what they're really doing there is innovative, for one thing, which makes it really kind of awesome and cool as a project because of how innovative it is and what it does in its water conservation and collection too. Because a lot of it, most of all of what that whole farm is running on is rainwater, collected rainwater. A whole system set up for that, and then recycles that water through the system. So it's really innovative, but it's also, they're in areas where, they're not very close to their food production. And that's one of the things you get in urban city areas is people who are just a little bit further away from the growing of their food. And when you can create these urban farms, the urban micro farms, urban gardens, and all that sort of stuff in these systems that his organization's working on, especially in those areas that deal with drought on a regular basis, water conservation and recycling is really important, and bringing food to food deserts. You bring those things together and you've just got something that's just a really amazing thing that he's doing there. And so I was just really happy to be able to get there and be able to see that project and all of that as well too. So look forward to that, as well as we got to go to see the urban homestead, and that one I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to. This has been a long time coming for this video, so hopefully we got some really good footage and all of that. Haven't got to editing it yet. Be working on this next week, but I'm really excited about getting this video out. We're going to talk with all three of the siblings. The urban homestead video is our most popular video on the Urban Gardener channel, and to get back together with them to talk with all three of them this time and get some really good highlights and some interviews and discussions with them about the farm, about what it's like to work together as a family to create these farm boxes and things that they sell out of their CSA that they have there in Pasadena. Since 1985, they've been one of the originators of urban farming, and it was really, again, great to get to see them as well again too and do that video. So we'll be looking forward to that, as well as we got together up in Northern California on my way back home. I got together with the fig hunter David Burke and his wife Priscilla, and we got a really cool interview with them. A look around at their fig farm and all the different things that they got going on there, talking all about figs. So we'll have that up as a feature as well too. So look forward to all of those. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're getting up to. That's pretty much what's been going on. And yeah, so again too, so glad to have all of you along with me here. So glad that you come and join with me and hang out and watch and our videos here and all of that sort of stuff. I just really appreciate that. It's kind of cool to be back on and stuff. We'll see what we can do. Kind of again too, I don't know why, it's just kind of that time right now, having situations. We've had a really great year. Hardly any problems up till recently with getting people booked and set up. We get people booked, and then the last couple of times we've kind of run into some issues. So I'm not sure who is going to be our guest next week. Probably try to pull somebody out of the dugout, another baseball analogy, and get a pinch hitter for this next this next week for our guest and all of that too. So that'll be something we'll look forward to this next week and everything too. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this video started here for here. This is our travel vlog for my Enoch Vlogs channel, and we'll play the video, and then after the video I'll talk a little bit more about where we can watch the rest of them if you all like what you see there. It is 4 parts, mind you, so this is just the first part, and I think I put together a really cool video series, you know, a 4-part series. And so again, we'll play this one here now, and then I'll be in the comments, so you can all hang out there if you have any questions or anything like that about anything you see or anything you want to ask me. I'll be in the comments section there to talk with all of you as well too. And then again, we'll be back after this video plays, and then we'll talk about how we meet up on the other channel for the premieres of part 2, 3, and 4, which we're going to play out here for the afternoon. If you got anything else going on, you can just hang out. That's all I'm going to be doing here for today too myself. So again, it's great to see all of you here, and I hope you enjoy the video.
Gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. I'm gonna find you and make you walk.
Boy, it's nice and bright and early out, and I haven't done this for a while. I have not made a travel vlog since my last trip to Los Angeles, but I thought, you know what, let's break out the camera, let's cut some clips, let's put together another little travel vlog and see how this trip goes. I haven't gone to Los Angeles in a couple of years. I'm really excited about this. We've got the National Heirloom Exposition here this week, as well as a couple of really great visits that we're gonna do with the Urban Homestead. More on that story in just a little bit too. And we're also gonna go visit our friend Jemiah Hargens again at Crop Swap LA and check out a new micro farm that he has. So I'm really excited about this trip. It's really early right now. We're getting ourselves started on the road. It's gonna be time to travel through California, so let's go get to Los Angeles. Hey Georgie, how you doing, buddy? Yeah? Heading off to Los Angeles, dude. We're not gonna see you for a couple of days. Don't worry, Sam's gonna take care of you. You'll be all right. You'll still get your snacks. Yeah.
Walk away. Those who could relate know the world ain't cake. Jail bars ain't golden gates. Those who fake they break. When they make the 400-pound mate. If I could rule the world, everyone would have a gun. In the ghetto, of course, we'll get D up and on the horse. I kick a rhyme, drinking moonshine. I pour a sip on the concrete. For the deceased, but no, don't weep. My left in a state of sleep, thinking about the robbery that I did last week. Money in the bag, banker look like a drag. I wanna play with pelicans and hit a Baghdad. Gun blast, think fast, I think I'm hit. My girl pinch my hips to see if I still exist. I think not. I send a letter to my friends. A born again hooligan, only to be king again. Ready?
So all right, here we go.
I'm gonna find
So, all right, we got a nice early start to the morning there. Got the car all packed up. We hit the road. We're off and running. Just passed through into California here just a moment ago. And, you know, it's just one of those things I really love and I enjoy. I've driven through this part of Northern California, Southern Oregon so many times, but it's just really beautiful. I enjoy driving through here every time I get a chance to. It's basically, you know, this part of Northern California, Southern Oregon, the Emerald Triangle, basically. But just got these rolling hills going into the Siskiyou Mountains. But just really nice, really beautiful here. First thing in the morning, getting right into California. But we've got a long trip ahead of us throughout the day. And as we're trying to make our way down to Southern California. But yeah, off to a good start. All right, so case in point here, just a quick little vista on the road here. Thought I'd just go ahead and take a stop and check it out for a moment. We got to enjoy these moments throughout the day to get a chance to have a break. It's going to be a long drive, as I said. We'll be 12 hours on the road throughout the day. But yeah, just awesome viewpoint here. Whoa! Just about dropped my phone. But yeah, let's get on with it. So just stopping at the next rest stop here, and I was kind of thinking about this and reminded of the fact that luckily for where I live, we've been in the last month or so going through a bunch of different wildfires that were coming from here in Northern California. But our area has cleared up over the last week or so. So I didn't think about it until we got here. And you can start to tell that there's wildfire smoke all around the area here. And as we're driving in through into the Siskiyous, right? It's still early morning, you know, so, you know, there's a lot of probably fog and whatnot from early morning, but you can see here, this is Mount Shasta, but there's a line you can tell that's brown, and it's not so bad or really that thick, but yeah, you can tell that we're still in wildfire season though. So, all right, first fuel stop of the trip, and I'm quickly reminded of how lucky I am that I live in Oregon and we have full service. So in Oregon, we have gas attendants. So I don't ever really have to pump my own gas unless I'm visiting California or Washington State. Although they did just change the law so you can pump your own gas, but they're still required to have full service attendants though as well. So you can pump your own gas or you can have someone pump it for you is now the option in Oregon. But yeah, I gotta go pump my own gas now. right, easy enough, but boy am I spoiled being from Oregon though, for sure. But all right, let's get back on the road.
It ain't no joke, I'd like to buy the world a token, teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
All right, bit of a rest stop here. We've been traveling now for a couple of hours. We're definitely way past all the mountains we were in just a little bit ago. A bit south of Sacramento. Everything's starting to get kind of wide open here as we're pretty much heading towards the middle of California, and a good time for a nice little rest stop, a little walk around to get out of the car. The cool morning has definitely turned into a nice sunny hot afternoon. Oh no, check this out. Walking around the rest stop here and run into a sign, rattlesnake seen in this area. I think I'll keep close to the front of the rest stop here, not go walking around out there and run into some rattlesnakes. And we'll have just a little bit of a snack too there. Some pineapple and some strawberries.
Use the world to snuff the fires and the liars. Hey, I know it's just a song, but it's spice for the recipe. This is a love attack. I know it went out, but it's back. And just like any fad, it retracts before impact. And just like fashion, it's a passion for the whip it and hip. If you got the goods, they'll come and buy it just to stay in the clique. So don't delay, act now, supplies are running out. Now if you're still alive, 6 to 8 years to arrive. And if you follow, there may be a tomorrow. But if you offer shun, you might as well be walking on the sun.
All right, hey everybody, it's actually the next day now. I am driving out to Pasadena. I'm in Pasadena right now, driving out to the Urban Homestead, where I'm gonna do another interview and another video with them. It's the most popular video I have on my channel, so I've been wanting to get back now for a long time and to get together with all 3 of the siblings and, you know, just get a really good history of the place and make a really good new video about the Urban Homestead. So we're about to do that. I just got in last night. It was a little bit late. You know, we arrived, everything was great. I got to my friend Wayne's place where I'll be staying the week, and just didn't get the camera out. Totally went over my head, didn't think about it. Just got busy talking and visiting with him and settling in for the night. But yeah, everything went great as far as the trip. You know, everything timed out just perfectly. And so far we're off to a great start, you know. Now we're gonna go and visit with Anais and Justin and Jourdain Dervais. They're the siblings that run the Urban Homestead. So I'm excited about seeing them again. They're really awesome people. They've always been really inviting to me and my channel there. So again, we should have probably another really, really great day doing that. So I'll catch up with all of you a little bit later in the day when I guess all of that part of it's all over with. You'll have to, you know, you'll have to watch the video to see what happens between now and a little bit later when you see me next.
25 years ago, they spoke out and they broke out of recession and oppression. And together they talked and they spoke out with guitars around a bonfire, just singing and clapping. Man, what the hell happened? And some were spellbound, some were hellbound, some they fell down, and some got back up and fought back against the meltdown. And their kids were hippie chicks, all hypocrites, because fashion is smashing the true meaning of it. So don't delay, act now, supplies are running out. Allow if you're still alive. 6 to 8 years to arrive. If you follow, there may be a tomorrow. But if off a shunt, you might as well be walking on the sun. Joke when a mama's handkerchief is soaked with her tears because her baby's life has been revoked. The bond is broke up, so choke up and focus on the close-up. Against a wizard can't perform, no god like hocus pocus. So we'll sit back, kick back and watch the world get bushwhacked. Lose it, and your neighborhood is under attack.
All right, everybody, just out getting something to eat after our visit there. I included a few video clips for you all so you can kind of see a little bit about how awesome that place is, the Urban Homestead here in Pasadena. Just a really great place, great experience, just like I was hoping. Those guys are just so awesome and welcoming. So yeah, again, like I said, you'll have to just wait and watch the video on the Urban Gardener channel and see our interview. It was a really great interview. We really touched on a lot of the history of what they do there at their urban homestead. It's been around since 1985. I mean, since I was 10 years old, this thing has been doing the work that they've been doing there, and they're continuing this legacy on after their father started it all back then. So yeah, great. I really encourage you all to look forward to checking that video out. Again, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna get something to eat here and move on with my day. I think what we'll do next after this is I think there might be enough daylight left to get in a short little hike over at Griffith Park. So let's go check that out. Let's go see the park. So all right, there we are. We're over at Griffith Park now. I just started actually going up this trail here, which I'm gonna go up for just a little bit. It is starting to get dark here probably in just a little bit, so I'm not gonna go too far, just far enough to kind of see. I don't think I got up this area last time, so but yeah, there's just so many trails here. I'm sure it would take me quite a while to get through all of the different ones, but now I got to make a decision. Do I go this way or do I go that way? I think this way will go up a little bit higher, so let's go this way. Let's go check it out. So real quick, I did want to kind of explain something. If you are watching and have seen, I know there's just a few of you who have, saw my last travel vlog, which is basically the last vlog that's on the channel here, but I came here last time and did a film shoot with the Urban Homestead before, and I think I mentioned it a little bit in the last vlog from a couple of years ago, my last trip here, but ended up losing all of that footage from that visit. And well, not all of it actually. I still had like a few pieces, but not any sort of amount of footage to be able to put anything together. So it was a real bummer because I had such a great visit with them that last time 2 years ago too. We had a really great interview, talked about all sorts of stuff, and you know, so it was a real bummer to lose all of that, and then I have to also wait as much time as it took to be able to get back there again today. So I'm really glad I did though too. It seemed like everything just went the way it should. We were able to talk about and discuss pretty much everything that we talked about the last time, and we basically just did a nice reshoot and a nice like get together again too. They're all really great. So yeah, that's kind of the thing that happened with that this last time. So really you know, losing a lot of that footage from from some of my visits here was a real bummer. So, but yeah, so you know, what are you gonna do but again, do what we did and do a reshoot, and really kind of had that same sort of spark, that same sort of thing, you know, that we had last time. So it was a really great experience again. So again, I got the footage this time. I'm not gonna lose it, and I can't wait to get home and start piecing it together and editing up a really great video, telling a really, you know, probably a little, you know, deeper sense of their story and what they're all about and what they do there at their urban farm. So yeah, I guess you'll just have to, again, wait to see and check that all out. Here's a nice little view looking on at actually I didn't park in this parking lot, I actually parked a little bit further down. So yeah, we've been going up the trail here along the side, and just now came up right up around here, and yeah, kind of a nice view here. Parts of Los Angeles out there. Then I believe it actually heads this direction. Around the other side is where all the big main city and downtown is. But yeah, pretty nice up here. It's a pretty nice steep hike though too, so I think we still got enough time, still enough light to be able to get a little bit more of this trail in, so let's make it happen. So right up, just up around the corner from where we were there, there's more park. And then it's kind of where you head into the North Valley area, San Fernando, I believe, in that direction. And then more trails and park. I mean, this just goes all the way up through and up even further. I don't think I'm gonna make it up too much further. We'll go just a little bit further, but yeah, it's a pretty nice view from up here. Just some awesome colors in the sky tonight. It's really making the greens out here really pop. There's where the trail's heading back off in that direction, so it probably just follows around back through here along the lower hillside. Yeah, really nice. Just amazing color there. Just went from back around the corner there, and it just kind of keeps on going for quite a while, and I'm sure well up into the mountains and all of that. And it's probably getting dark enough by the time I get back to the car, so I think that's probably it for right now on this trail. It's really nice though up here. The colors, like I said, in the sky are just really amazing. It's just an awesome night. So yeah, the views are awesome. It's beautiful out. Had a really great day visiting with the Gervais family, and seeing you know, this thriving urban farm, you know, which is really inspiring, and just really awesome of them to you know, invite me along to, you know, kind of check in on their story and all of that. And I hope that you know, I can put together a pretty good video and and you know, kind of help carry that story and their legacy along a little bit, you know, with a little bit of my own touch to it, you know. So yeah, and then let's see, I think we're getting started with the first day of the heirloom exposition tomorrow, so that's what we got to look forward to. First day of the heirloom exposition. I think I'm just gonna pretty much take a day to kind of enjoy it a little bit. I probably will shoot just a little bit of video, and of course I'll you know, be showing you guys maybe a little bit of the highlights and all of that. That's what we'll do when I see you here in just a minute or two, when we get to the urban homestead. Yeah, amazing colors. Look at this place. I can't believe it. I feel like I'm inside of a painting or something like that. And I'm telling you, all these greens everywhere, they're just popping. Like, it just looks really, really cool, really dynamic. Yeah, this is really amazing. So yeah, perfect start to all of this, you know. We'll continue on tomorrow at the heirloom exposition. It's going to be day one of some fun. Kind of take you along a little bit, show you some highlights, and yeah, all around, all that. Can't wait.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Oh, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Lucy in the sky with diamonds.
My gosh, did you see that? Oh wow, dude, the road was moving, and I looked down and there's a snake there. I don't know what kind of snake it was, but I don't know. I know I was a good distance from it, but yeah, I almost didn't see it for a minute there, but it is starting to get pretty dark. I don't know, you can't really tell, but it's pretty dark now too, so I'm getting back to the car. But yeah, I can't believe that snake just right out in front of me. So all right, good morning everybody. Back at it again. On my way now out of basically central Los Angeles. I'm currently trying to get on the 405. And again, another thing I'm not really used to, but is typical in Los Angeles, is bumper to bumper traffic. So the 405 is full of vehicles, and I'm trying to join all of them right now. In fact, got someone trying to merge and right into me at this moment. But yeah, so we're again, like I said, up and at it again. I am now traveling. It'll take me just a little while to get up to Ventura County, to the county fairgrounds, where we're gonna go check out the 10th National Heirloom Exposition. It's been a few years, so pretty excited about seeing how everything is going to turn out here in Southern California. So again, let's make our way there and see what's going on.
Go on then. This ain't no disco, mate. No. It ain't no country club either. No. This is Los Angeles. All I want to do is have a little fun before I die, says a girl sat next to me, out of nowhere, apropos of nothing. She says her name's Joanna, but I'm sure she's a Joe or a Josie or something like that. And she's plain ugly to me, and I wonder if she's ever had a day of fun in her entire life. Because here we are, drinking beer at noon on a Tuesday, in a bar that faces a giant car wash. The good people of the world are washing their cars, on their lunch break, hosing and scrubbing as best as they can in skirts and suits.
All right, everyone, here we are out at Ventura County Fairgrounds here. And this is where the new National Heirloom Exposition is going to be. So I'm going to go over here, get my ticket, go in and walk around and get the feel for what the layout is. And then, yeah, we'll give you guys a look at everything as well, too. So let's go check this out.
They drive their shiny Datsuns and Buicks back to the phone company, the record store too. Well, they're nothing like Josie and me. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got the feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. I got the feeling I'm not the only one. All I wanna do is have some fun. Until the sun comes up over Santa Monica Boulevard. Know what I mean? I like a good beer buzz early in the morning. Josie likes to peel the labels from the bottles of her Budweiser. She shreds them on the bar, then lights every match in an oversized pack, letting each one burn down to her fingers before blowing and cursing them out. And she's watching all those bottles of Budweiser as they spin round and round and round on the floor.
Yikes, yikes. Okay, you can hear me now, I'm sure, right? Ay, 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 ay. Of course, I come back and I got the sound turned off, but yeah. Anyways, I'm just saying, talking about how fun and awesome the trip was, and putting together the vlogs and all of that was really great. Lots of really cool, fun stuff, like you saw there. We got onto, and again, 3 more parts of these vlogs, and so there's a lot more a lot more stuff that we've got to show on our next 3 parts of the vlog too. So again, here we're going to end the show here probably in just a few minutes here, and then you can go down into the description. There's a link there to the vlog channel, Enoch Vlog channel, and you can find part 2, which should be premiering probably in just, oh, well, you know what? I think it'll be premiering probably in about another few minutes. So it should be maybe 12:30, I think. Yeah. So anyways, we'll have that premiere all set up, and you can go check that out again. It'd be just after this show, I think at 12:30. Be all set there on the channel. And again, I'll be there. It's a premiere, so I'll be right there in the chat box with everybody, just like we do here for the live show. And we can talk about whatever. And after that one's over, like I said, part 3 will show. And then after that's over, we'll have part 4. And I'm just going to kind of hang out with everybody for the afternoon. So if, yep, in fact, I think Jay just put a link in the chat box there for everybody as well, too, to the channel there. And yeah. And again, too, you just come check out the vlog and watch along with me, and we can chat about whatever, like we were talking about in this one here. I wanted to mention again too was that snake. And I don't know why. I mean, at first I didn't hear that rattle, and it kind of went in there, and then I walked along and I was like, oh wow, okay, crazy. You know, the snake was just, you know, before I turned the camera on, it was just kind of, you know, wiggling its way across this, you know, walk path, you know, pretty nice wide walk path. So I had a good ways to kind of wiggle across to get along to the other side there. So it took me a second to get the camera, and I got it just as it was leaving the path and going into the thing there, but I didn't hear the rattle when when I was there in the moment. And so when I'm editing the video, and that's why I put the thing up there, is like, man, I heard that. Did you hear that? You know, is that you could hear the rattle. And so that was definitely a rattlesnake there. And but you know, often, you know, there's just another part of many stories I have of running into wild animals out in the wild, you know, from the wilderness of Alaska to the, you know, these big beach rocks out in the ocean beaches. I've had a couple of run-ins with some big giant animals, and for the most part, they've all gone on to do their own thing and have wanted no part of me, you know, let alone the fact that they freaked me out and I wanted no part of them. But kind of glad I didn't know in the moment that that was a rattlesnake. I probably have been just a little more freaked out. But, you know, as long as they're doing their thing, though, as long as they're doing their own thing and they're not bothering me, or I'm not accidentally running into them, causing them to snap at me and bite me or something like that, then, you know, I have no problem with them. I'm a nature lover, and I love to leave nature just as it is, and hopefully, you know, not cause any harm to anything if I can, you know, if I run into it or have any sort of situations. But yeah, I mean, it's it was kind of a crazy little thing there. Again, like I said, just more for the fact that you know, at the time I didn't hear that rattle, and then I heard it in the editing. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, again, all in all, really fun trip, man. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time. And also too, you know, kind of one of the larger theme too, you know. Oh, and as well too, you know, I encourage you to check out some of these other vlogs too. There's one where because one of my big goals too was to hopefully line up a trip to Los Angeles at a time that the urban homestead, which you saw that we visited there and saw that clip of, is going back there for one of their events they have. They hold all sorts of different events, and one of them is this kind of music night where they invite these people to perform music, and kind of they call it the Homestead Hootenanny. And it's kind of, you know, some cool like bluegrass music mixed with some cool like classic rock music kind of all mixed in there, and they just kind of play different tunes and stuff, and it was just really nice to be able to get there. So get to, you know, there's some clips and some songs and some of that and some of the other vlogs as well that are going to be coming up as well, so I'll be showing that part of our visit too. So that was really awesome to be able to finally have that line up, you know, all together, even with the trip that I'm going to do, or that I did to see the heirloom exposition, that they all kind of lined up together. It was just all worked out perfectly. And in the long run, kind of, again, as I was saying, is the kind of theme of everything over that whole trip. And all of that was, you know, just kind of getting inspired and kind of reinvigorated to keep on moving and keep on going forward with what we're doing. Because, you know, I've got a small channel here. We've got, you know, a nice small little crowd. I mean, and I appreciate every single one of you that come and spend your time to hang out with me, and every single one of you who watch us on the replay and all of that. You know, it just really means a lot to me, you know, and really makes all of this sort of stuff worth it, you know, and so much more fun, you know. And we've been having a really great year when it comes to that. You know, last year didn't You know, it was looking to be, and the first half of it was great, didn't end too well, and it was really great to get off to a really great running start this year, to have this show work out so well. You know, again, too, we're just a small show, and I'm happy if we're just a small show. I'd love to see us get bigger and gain more of an audience, and that's really going to be a goal of ours in this next coming year. So as we start looking forward into next season and all of that, you know, I don't plan on going anywhere with this show. I plan on keeping on, and as we you hear that clip at the very beginning, man, you know, life's a garden, man, dig it. And that's what I'm here to do, you know, is to share my passion for gardening and growing and all of that with all of you, and hopefully have all of you along with me here so that we can meet and see all of these other great people that are involved in the gardening community. There's so many just awesome people, organizations, authors, podcasters, just all sorts of really awesome people that I love having conversations with, and I love sharing those conversations with all of you. And it's just what makes this whole thing so much fun. I've been really enjoying it, and we're going to be picking things up. I mean, everybody's noticed that we've had a kind of some changes even throughout the season to, you know, we don't have some of our segments and stuff like we did when we first started, but we're working on reintegrating that as we move into next season. We're going to have some changes upcoming. I've got some more ideas for some things that we've got, you know, brewing for the Let's Get Growing show as we move into next year, you know, and I'm, again, really excited about it. And this trip really just was really kind of reinvigorated that excitement. You know, even though, and the one last thing I'll mention too is that I was intending on doing a live stream from the show. I did do a short little clip of the very end. You know, that's something that is up there that I did do. But all in all, you know, they didn't have a Wi-Fi situation that I was able to get connected to, right? So, you know, it just didn't work out right. A lot of other things were going on, and you know, but it is my big goal for this next year. You know, I was talking with Jer, you know, the person who runs Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company, and we, you know, talking about some ideas, and he seems to be up for it. So hopefully we'll get him back on the show here coming up soon, and we'll talk a little bit more about all those sort of things so we get moving into next year. You know, like I said, I'm really excited. I'm excited that all of you are here with me, and I hope that you guys are really enjoying the show. And if you do, you know, I know some of you are here with me live and you're in the chat box, but you know, if you get a chance, get in on one of our videos, or if you get a chance to come check out one of our older shows that you haven't seen already, get down in the comment section, or if you got any ideas for me for upcoming segments or guests or anything like that. I love to hear from all of you guys. You all really make this show what it is, and all of that too. So I just really appreciate it so much. And and like Jay says, listen, Enoch is risking his life to bring us content. Yeah, no doubt. Well, like again, like I said, good thing I didn't know I was risking my life at the moment. And again, it was probably, you know, the more dangerous thing I think we talked about in the chat there too was all of that poison oak everywhere. I did get a run in with poison oak. It wasn't actually up in those trails. It was in another trail, which was maybe just a little bit west of all of that, the Franklin Canyon one. That's I feature in one of the vlogs, upcoming vlogs on the other channel there. But yeah, so you know, that wasn't very fun, but again, the whole thing was great and really great to be here with all of you guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the show now, and again, like I said, right after I end the show here in just a moment, get down in the description there, click the link. In fact, I think Jay put links right up there too for you all in the chat box. But if you are joining with us or still here with us watching the replay, go down and check that link below too, so you can check out the other channel, and go subscribe too. You know, if they get some more subscribers up on that channel, then maybe I'll put up some more content. All right, everybody, you all have a great day. Thank you so much.